Rosie Duffield's decision to leave the Labour Party is a significant political development this afternoon, reflecting just how deep the divisions in the party have become because of the donations by Lord Ali and the optics that creates. Duffield, who has represented Canterbury since 2017, has been an outspoken figure within Labour, particularly on issues related to gender and women's rights, which have previously led to tensions within the party. Her resignation came 85 days after her re-election, making her one of the quickest MPs to leave a party post-election in recent history. She cited Keir Starmer's acceptance of gifts and the retention of controversial policies such as the two-child benefit cap as the primary reason for her departure. She described these policies, I presume she also includes the pension, the fuel allowance for pensioners, as cruel and unnecessary, and accused Starmer of prioritising personal gain over the needs of the public. Duffield's resignation letter further criticised Starmer's managerial style and technocratic approach, which she believes has alienated MPs and voters alike, and she highlighted her discontent with his handling of internal party issues, including his treatment formerly of Diane Abbott, and accused him of promoting those with personal connections rather than with merit. Her resignation also has roots in her ongoing conflict with the party over its stance on transgender rights. She's been a controversial figure, facing criticism for her gender-critical views, which have put her at odds with party members and groups advocating for trans rights. Her departure was welcomed by some, of course, who viewed it as a step towards a more inclusive Labour Party. And this move could have wider implications for Labour itself, as it reflects growing dissatisfaction among some members with the current leadership's direction. It also raises questions about internal party cohesion, discipline, and the potential for more resignations or challenges to Starmer's leadership in the future. Starmer, for his part, will simply look around and say, well, I've got a sizable enough majority, it doesn't really matter. But the number of people who have been jettisoned from the party, who have been thrown out, who have lost the whip, is growing. And now there's people who are voluntarily ditching that whip, like Rosie Duffield. I think no matter how big a party's majority, it always has to look very carefully to those who voluntarily leave and to what is happening to those who have been thrown out. One cannot necessarily take that party loyalty for granted if they don't benefit from it. I think we've got to a point in the politics of Britain where we have to consider whether this party politics approach to our national political assembly is the right one. My own instinct is that we should have smaller parties that focus on particular things, and that that combination of the parties should happen after an election, when the MPs get together and horse trade to see which party can come out on top, rather like the system across much of Europe. It means all governments will then be a compromise, but what we have at the moment is already a compromise. It's that we, the electorate, are presented with that compromise, because the Labour Party is a compromise association of individual MPs from a broad church, and the Conservative Party is the same, the Lib Dems less so. And Reform, they just have one agendum, which seems to be to cause trouble, as their initial plan was to promote Brexit. Now, they, like the rest of us, have to recognise it hasn't worked terribly well, so they just want to cause trouble. But with a change of electoral system to move away from the first past the post approach, to move for a more honest understanding of what our personal MP believes in, and to then see how that MP aligns more closely with the government that comes into power, I think that would be more honest. And that's the sort of thing that we should be looking at in the 21st century, rather than this nonsense with whips and and bullying, party bullying. Surely we've got beyond that.